Get the latest movie reviews, Hollywood news, and inside views. It's time for Behind the Screens with Lights, Camera, Jackson on 107.7 GNA.
All right, here he is every Friday morning, 7:15. We go behind the screens with our friend Lights, Camera, Jackson. Good morning, Jax. Happy Friday the 13th. All right.
I like that. That's a solid.
Thank you.
One. That's good.
Settle down,
good.
Jax. Settle down. He's all excited. His Eagles are 5-1.
That's right.
Good for you, man.
He went to the game, not last night, obviously, in Carolina, but last Sunday. By the way, even as an Eagle fan, you're not terrified to go into that dump and watch a football game?
No, Lincoln Financial Field is fun. The crowd was totally into it. It was packed. I know attendance has been down at football stadiums around the country, but the Eagles is such a loyal fan base, especially in Philly.
I saw you with the cheerleaders, too, Jackson. Well
They
done.
were very nice. The mascot was very nice. Had a great time before the game and during the game.
That's a dump.
He's a Cowboys fan. What do you expect over here?
And I'm speaking for the Giant fans, too. I we can all encompass if you're a fan of any team in the NFC East. All right, so let's get to Marshall. You saw this movie. I got to admit, I haven't seen trailers. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about Marshall.
Okay, so this is Chadwick Boseman. He was Jackie Robinson in 42. He was James Brown in Get On Up. Now he's Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. But this movie's not a biopic on Thurgood Marshall's life. It focuses on one of his early cases in his career, and Marshall's not even allowed to speak during the trial. Josh Gad's character, a fellow lawyer, they work together. He has more scenes and more lines of dialogue. So it's a misguided film from the start. Kate Hudson and Sterling K. Brown. Chrissy, are you still watching This Is Us?
Yes, of course I am.
Holy cow, I'm
He's
getting
a great
into it.
actor.
I got to say, Stallone was amazing Tuesday night.
Absolutely.
Wow. So Sterling's in this movie. He gives the best performance in the film, but he really can't save the film either. It's just there's a light tone to it. The film feels kind of off the whole time. There's no suspense, no surprises. I say do not go see Marshall this weekend.
All right, so let's talk Happy Death Day. Is this just a Friday the 13th gimmick, or is this actually a pretty good seasonal,
Is it a
scary
thriller?
Halloween
Yeah.
film?
Well, it's out for Friday the 13th. It's like Groundhog Day, Edge of Tomorrow, and Before I Fall. It's another movie about reliving the same day over and over again. In this case, it's about a female college student who keeps getting brutally murdered over and over again, and she has to figure out who the killer is in order to get things back to normal. Because Blade Runner didn't do as well as expected last weekend, it'll go down. It's 50% or so. This could actually win the weekend with just under $20 million.
All right. So let's talk about how the Harvey Weinstein scandal, which, I mean, like, just to give you guys the long or the short, he is, how important is he, first of all, in Hollywood?
Well, I mean, yeah, he was the driving force behind the Weinstein Company, and especially with award season campaigns. Before I specifically get into that, let me tell you quickly the brief story of the time I met Harvey Weinstein. It was January 2014, and second year for me attending the Critics' Choice Awards. And I saw him. I wanted to meet him. I kind of stuck out my hand as he was walking by. I said, I'm Jackson Murphy. I'm a member of the Broadcast Film Critics Association. He kind of walked by, and then he turned around, and all he said was, you look too young.
Wow.
And at that point,
Whoa.
you're kind of a little surprised by anything that comes out of Harvey Weinstein's mouth. So kind of laughed it off. He kind of laughed it off and went on his way. But,
Yep.
you know, he's gotten many things wrong in his career, including that.
Well, here's the thing. So a couple of points. There are just a litany of women that are accusing him of various different levels of sexual assault.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, big stars too. I mean, big stars, right? Jane Fonda, Rosanna Arquette, Rose McGowan. Kate Beckinsale. Like the list goes on and on and on. But for us, like you're in the industry, how important is he? Like, what is he? Is he a top 5 movie making mogul? Like, is he involved? Like, how important is Harvey Weinstein? And how does this affect Hollywood? If in fact, we find out that these allegations, which some of them likely are true, how does this shake up Hollywood?
This definitely shakes up Hollywood. He was a huge force as far as on the producing side. He won an Oscar for producing Shakespeare in Love, and his Weinstein Company. He was at Miramax first, and then Miramax kind of went into Disney, and you don't hear much from them anymore. And then the Weinstein Company has produced so many movies and TV shows, from The Artist to The King's Speech to your favorite Silver Linings Playbook, Brian. So many movies over the years and TV shows like Project Runway. So he's definitely a huge force in the industry. And when it comes to award season, everybody was always like, what's Harvey going to do? How crazy is Harvey going to go with these movie campaigns this year? Because notoriously, it's been outrageous in the past. There are a couple movies this year from the Weinstein Company. One of them is called Wind River, which starred Jeremy Renner. It came out in the summer. I liked it very much. The other big film for them this year is called The Current War, and it's about Thomas Edison, and it stars Benedict Cumberbatch. And I'm actually scheduled to see it in about a week and a half. For now, hopefully that film still gets released because it looks good, but who knows where the studio could go in the coming days.
And the thing is, like, these are reputable celebrities,
big stars
that are
big stars.
that are still doing and making films, right? So if they were all people from 15, 20 years ago that maybe had an encounter that could perhaps be looking for a payday, I'd be like, I don't know, because he's worked with so many famous people. But like Kate Beckinsale, like she's still working.
Right.
And
all these people, and I think allegations went up to as soon as 2 years ago. The Film Academy, the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences, they're having an emergency meeting tomorrow to decide what to do about his membership in the Academy, as well as, I guess, what they're going to do about the films for award season, how they're going to play that game.
And Tom Hanks, who has never worked with Harvey, and Tom is somebody who, like, when there's probably like 10 of them when they speak in Hollywood. It doesn't matter what they say.
You pay attention.
You have to pay attention. Tom Hanks, quote, never worked with him, but said it all just sort of fits. Doesn't it?
Wow.
I don't even really know how to read into that, but
that's pretty powerful.
It tells me that over the years, people have probably made some claims toward Harvey Weinstein that Tom Hanks heard of, and perhaps that's why some celebrities like Tom haven't worked with him. Anyways, great stuff as always, Jackson. If people want more from you, bud, how can they do that?
Yeah, lights-camera-jackson.com, Twitter at LCJ Reviews. I'm hitting some movies and some festivals this weekend and over the coming weekends, and yeah, more on Harvey. I mean, Seth MacFarlane had that joke. If you guys remember that.
No,
from the Oscar nominations announcements a couple years ago. He made a joke. People always in the industry, I think, kind of knew something was off about Harvey Weinstein, but they didn't quite know exactly what. So now everything is coming out.
Great stuff. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks.
All right, talk to you later.